Hi student, welcome to botany class. Today we are going to see the economic importance of bacteria. So in the previous video we have discussed about the reproduction. So there is a life process. So among them we are discussing the reproduction in bacteria. Now we are going to see the economic importance of bacteria. Actually the bacteria, in the beginning of this topic we have discussed about the front and fore. So, some bacteria do the beneficial activity to human, animals and also plants. Some bacteria do the harmful activity to the human by causing the disease, animal by causing the disease, in plants also by causing the diseases. Okay, so the bacteria it will be do the both activity, but when compared to viruses, the bacteria it will be do the various beneficial role, but viruses is only do the harmful activity. So that's why the term virus, that is mean poison. But here it will be do the both beneficial and harmful activity. Let us enter into the topic. So the economic importance of bacteria. Amanda, we have first discussed about the beneficial aspect, a beneficial role of bacteria. So among the beneficial role, we first see the soil fertility. How the bacteria it will be help to increase the soil fertility. So what is the fertility mean? Soil fertility mean the soil must contain all the nutrients whatever is essential for plant growth. So here some bacteria, it will fix the nitrogen. As a result, it will increase the nitrogen content in the soil. Because the nitrogen content is very high in the atmosphere when compared to soil. Nearly 78% of the nitrogen is present in the form of molecular nitrogen. But plant cannot intake the molecular nitrogen directly. So the molecular nitrogen must be converted into either nitrate or ammonia. So when compare these three, nitrate and ammonia, the nitrate and the nitrate is easily available form for the plants, ammonia in very rare case. So first one we are going to see the ammonification. So the dead bodies of the plants, animals and the fecal matter of the animals. The dead bodies of the plants and animals and the fecal matter of the plants and animals. Are the waste of the plants. The fecal of the animals. Some bacteria, it will be grow on this and it will be degrade the complex protein into ammonia. So the plant body and the animal body and the fecal matter is contain more amount of protein. This protein or break down as well converted into ammonia or ammonium salt. Okay, that is ammonification. Now convert a complex protein in the dead bodies of the plants and the animal into ammonia, which is later that finally it will be converted into ammonium salt. Example for the ammonification bacteria. So those bacteria take part in this process. That is Bacillus ramosus and Bacillus mycoides. These two bacteria is mainly help to degrade the plants and the animal bodies, the dead, especially for dead part of the plants and animal body. And it will be release the complex protein into ammonia. Later it will convert into ammonium salt. So here also the same given. That is ammonia, it's ammonium salt. So it's all coming from what? The rotting of the plant residues. So rotting means it will be degrade. That is the rotting of the plant residues and the soil organic matter. Later it converted into ammonia first. After that it converted into ammonium. Ammonia and ammonium. Ammonium means ammonium salt. That is ammonification. As a result, it increases the nitrogen content in the soil. So it's help for the soil fertility. Next, we have seen that nitrification. So here the ammonia is formed by the process of these two bacteria, Bacillus ramosus and Bacillus mycoides. It will be degrade the complex protein is present in the animal and the plant body and the fecal matter. Later it converted into ammonia and ammonium salt. Now the ammonia and ammonium salt is converted into nitrite and nitrate by the oxidation process. Okay. So the nitrification is the biological oxidation. That is the oxidation process. Why it is a biological? Because the microorganism, especially the bacteria, is take part for the oxidation of ammonium salt. By the biological oxidation of ammonia to nitrite, followed by the oxidation of nitrate to nitrate. So first ammonia is converted into nitrite, and then the nitrate later converted into nitrate, later oxidized into nitrate with help of the two bacteria, Nitrobacter and the Nitrosomonas. So the ammonia to nitrite with the help of Nitrosomonas species. Each bacteria it takes part in a particular step. For the first nitrate formation from the ammonia, Nitrosomonas. Later the nitrate to nitrate with the help of Nitrobacter species. Okay. So this is also, it will be helped to increase the soil fertility. So first process ammonification, the complex protein, it will convert into ammonia and ammonium salt. And second one is nitrification. So here ammonia, it will be oxidized into nitrite and nitrate. Next, nitrogen fixation. It's a separate method. That is atmospheric nitrogen. It will be fixed by some bacteria either directly to the soil or it will be symbiotic associate. This bacteria is symbiotically associated with some group of the plant, especially for leguminous plant. And some non-leguminous plants also there, but very common the leguminous plants. So what is the leguminous plant? All dal variety. All dal variety is a leguminous plants. So this leguminous plant is contained the root nodule in the roots. The root nodule inside is contained some bacteria, that is especially for Rhizobium bacteria. This bacteria is helped to fix the atmospheric nitrogen to the plants. As a result, the soil fertility also increase. Okay. So it converts atmospheric nitrogen into organic. It's a gaseous form. Molecular nitrogen into organic nitrogen, that is a nitrogen fixation. So nitrogenous compound are oxidized to nitrogen. So this is also considered as nitrogen fixation. Example, Acetobacter, Clostridium and Rhizobium. So Acetobacter and Clostridium is a free living form. It's a aerobic, Acetobacter is a aerobic free living nitrogen fixing bacteria. Clostridium is a anaerobic free living nitrogen fixing bacteria. So Rhizobium is a symbiotic association. It is the symbiotic association with the leguminous plant and fixed atmospheric nitrogen. Here the process, the nitrogen cycle process will be given. The entire nitrogen cycle process. So the molecular nitrogen not only fixed by these organisms, and also it will be fixed by some industrial process. If the nitrogen fixed, atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by these organisms, that is a biological nitrogen fixation. So that is an industrial. And some natural process. Also the nitrogen, molecular nitrogen is converted into the organic nitrogen into the soil by lightening process. It's a natural nitrogen fixation. Lightening. Okay, that's an industrial process. And with the help of these organisms, that is a biological process. So, what is the concept of nitrogen fixation? The atmospheric nitrogen, it will be converted into organic nitrogen by these bacteria. Whether this bacteria is a free living or symbiotic. Free living form Acetobacter and Clostridium. And symbiotic also Rhizobium. Okay. So this is also helped to increase the soil fertility. Next. So soil fertility over. Next we are going to see the antibiotics. So what is the antibiotics? So it is nothing but it's a proteinous compound. It's obtained from the bacteria. It's obtained from the bacteria or one bacteria. So this substance, it will ability to inhibit or to kill the another group of bacteria. That is antibiotics. Antibiotics is a proteinous substance. It will be formed from the one bacteria, one group of bacteria or one bacteria, and it has the effect or it will be inhibit or kill the another group of bacteria, that is antibiotics. So here some of the antibiotics name will be given, and the antibiotics is obtained from which group of the bacteria. This is also given. So first, streptomycin. Streptomycin is obtained from Streptomyces griseus. Streptomycin is obtained from Streptomyces griseus. And it will be mainly used, this antibiotic is mainly used for urinary infection. For urinary infection treatment, the streptomycin antibiotic are used. And tuberculosis, meningitis. So meningitis means the brain related. In the brain is protected by the two layer, that is a meningus layer. So meningitis means the brain related. And pneumonia. So these are the disease. It will be rectified or cured by streptomycin. That means, so each disease caused by a different group of bacteria. So the streptomycin from Streptomyces griseus, it will inhibit the growth or kill this group, the disease causing bacteria. Okay, so you can know that what are the diseases cured by streptomycin: urinary infection, tuberculosis, meningitis, and pneumonia. Next, aureomycin, Streptomyces aureofaciens. It will be used to the medicine to treat a whooping cough. You can see the asthma patient, they have the whooping cough. Okay. And then eye infection. For eye infection also, we can use the aureomycin antibiotics. Okay, so this is a aureomycin ointment and a tablet. So it's a streptomycin. Mostly the streptomycin is used in the IV. IV means in the intravenous injection. Okay. Next, chloromycetin is obtained from Streptomyces venezuelae. Chloromycetin. It is mainly used for the typhoid fever. So here, it sometimes also used for eye drops, and it's an ointment, and also it's used for the typhoid fever. Next, bacitracin. It will obtain from Bacillus licheniformis. Bacillus licheniformis. It's mainly used to treat syphilis. Actually, syphilis is one kind of STD, sexually transmitted disease. At the end of this video, we can discussing the human disease. So here the syphilis will become. Okay, so we will see later. So syphilis is a STD, sexually transmitted disease. Mostly it will be affect the sex organ of the both male and the female. And also this disease are transmitted through the sexual contact. And then polymyxin. It will obtain from Bacillus polymyxa. It mainly used to some bacterial diseases, to cure some bacterial diseases. So that's all about the antibiotics. Now we are going to see the industrial uses. So the bacteria is not only used to increase the soil fertility. It's not only act as an antibiotic. It is also used for some industrial process. Whatever we are using day to day life. So these are the product of the bacteria. That means this bacteria is mainly take part in this process and we get the product. Okay. So first one, lactic acid. It will obtain from Lactobacillus lacti and Lactobacillus bulgaris. So it will convert the milk sugar, that is lactose, into lactic acid. So lactic acid, it will be give the bitter taste to the curd. We already know that. Okay, so the milk sugar, that is lactose, is converted to lactic acid with the help of Lactobacillus lactis, Lactobacillus bulgaris. And then butter, it will be better. It's all milk product. Butter, cheese, curd, yogurt. So all are converted milk into butter, cheese, curd, and then yogurt. So depending on the organism, the product will be varied. But it's all dairy product or milk based product. So first one, butter, it will be getting from by the action of the bacteria Lactobacillus lactis and Leuconostoc citrovorum. Leuconostoc citrovorum. These two bacteria, it will mainly help for the production of butter. So this is a butter. It is getting from the milk. Cheese, the Lactobacillus acetophilus. Lactobacillus acetophilus, Lactobacillus lactis. So these two, it will convert the milk into what? Cheese. And then curd, Lactobacillus lactis, we already see. Lactic acid also, Lactobacillus lactis. It convert the milk into what? That is liquid form into solid form. Milk into curd. And yogurt, it will be obtained by the action of the bacteria Lactobacillus bulgaris. Okay, so this all what? It's a dairy product. So there is a yogurt, it's a curd, it's a butter, it's a cheese. So this all dairy product. You just know the name. What are the organism is mainly help for the production of this industrial product. These are the dairy based industrial product. Butter, cheese, curd, yogurt. Okay. Next, vinegar. So it will be getting from the fermentation process, the molasses. So it is a waste material of sugarcane industries, molasses. So this molasses here is used for the production of vinegar or acetic acid by the action of Acetobacter aceti. So this Acetobacter aceti, it will be grow on the molasses and it will be oxidized and it will convert into ethyl alcohol by the fermentation into vinegar or acetic acid. So first it converted to ethyl alcohol, later it converted to acetic acid. Okay, so this is a vinegar. So vinegar is mostly used for the preservative agent and it will be increase the taste of the some fast food. Okay, and alcohol and acetone. So this is also the product of some bacteria. But yeast is mainly take part in the alcohol beverage industry. But the bacteria also used it to production of alcohol, especially for butane alcohol and methyl alcohol. Butane and methyl alcohol. This is a product of the action of the Clostridium acetobotulicum. Clostridium acetobotulicum. The alcohol and acetone are prepared from the molasses, the same, like acetic acid, vinegar, molasses. By the fermentation activity of these two bacteria, these bacteria, Clostridium acetobotulicum, mostly is an anaerobic bacteria. Fermentation means anaerobic. There is no doubt at all. Fermentation process means it's an anaerobic process. So here also, Acetobacter aceti also anaerobic bacteria, and Clostridium acetobotulicum also anaerobic bacteria. This is alcohol, this is acetone. Acetone is a very good solvent. It's used for the laboratory. Mostly. The another industrial use, that is a retting of fiber. The separation of the fibers from fiber yielding plant by the action of the bacteria, that is Clostridium tertium. The Clostridium tertium, it will be used to separate the fiber from fiber yielding plant. So this process, the separation of fiber from fiber yielding plant, with help of Clostridium tertium, this is called retting of fiber. So another industrial product, that is a vitamin. It will be formed from Escherichia coli. So Escherichia coli is already present in our abdomen, that is especially for intestine of the human being, and it produces vitamin K and vitamin B. So vitamin K is mainly used for the blood clotting, And vitamin B, it will be used for B complex. That is, vitamin B complex is used for the various activity, especially for the energy level, brain functioning, cellular metabolism. Actually, the B complex means it will include the vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9 and B12. So it's a combined form, vitamin B complex. It will be mainly used for the energy level, brain functioning and cell metabolism. And Clostridium acetobotulicum is used to prepare vitamin B2, especially for vitamin B2. It is mainly used for cellular respiration by the fermentation of sugar. Okay, so Escherichia coli form the two type of vitamin K and vitamin B. Actually, it's naturally present in the human intestine, but it will be artificially used. The Escherichia coli artificially used to manufacture vitamin K and vitamin B complex. And Clostridium acetobotulicum, it will be vitamin B2. It will manufacture in the intestines by the fermentation process by using the Clostridium acetobotulicum. Okay. So another industrial use, that is the curing of tea and tobacco. So what is the curing? That is it is one of the process to change the green leaves into the brown color. The leaves color, it will be changed into green to brown by the action of some bacteria. So during this process, the aroma and taste will be increased. So it's a special flavor and aroma of the tea and tobacco due to the fermentation of the Micrococcus canticus and Bacillus megendarium. Micrococcus canticus, Bacillus megendarium. So during this process, a subsequent aging allow from the slow oxidation and degradation of the carotenoids in the tobacco leaf. So this produces a various compound in the tobacco leaves that give the cured tobacco. It is sweet head, tea, rose oil and the fruit aromatic flavor that contribute the smoothness of the consumed product. Okay, the tea, it will be a tea powder, it will be very smooth now due to this bacteria, Micrococcus canticus and Bacillus megendarium. And during this process, what is happening? The taste and aroma will be increased, especially for tobacco and tea, both, and also coffee also, coffee beans also. It will be undergo the curing process. So next we are going to see the harmful aspect of bacteria. So before that we are discussing the beneficial aspect. Now we are going to the harmful aspect. Harmful aspect means the bacteria which causes the various disease to the plant, animal and the human. So first we are going to the plant disease caused by bacteria. So rice is a host name. So rice, actually it's important food crop, we already know that. The name of the disease, that is a bacteria blight. It will be caused by the Xanthomonas oryzae. So Xanthomonas oryzae, it infects the rice plant and it causes the disease bacteria blight. So this is a bacteria blight disease. That means the green color, it will be changed into brown. That is loss of chlorophyll. As I said, the leaf will be drier. So it's automatically, it will be decrease the yield of the crops. And second one, apple. Name of the host, apple. So the disease, that is a fire blight. It will be caused by Yersinia amenovora. Yersinia amenovora. So that is the same, like a bacteria blight. So here the leaf color, it will be changed. It will be changed and then the leaf will be drier. So automatically, if the leaf is dry up, mean what is happen mean the rate of photosynthesis will be decreased. If the rate of photosynthesis is decreased, mean automatically the yield of crop will be reduced. And then third disease, there is a soft rot in carrot. Soft rot in carrot. It will be caused by Yersinia caratovora. Yersinia caratovora. So that is a soft rot in carrot. So another disease, that is a citrus canker in citrus plant. Citrus canker in citrus plant. It will be caused by Xanthomonas citri. So it's a costly agent to cause a citrus canker to citrus plant. So what is the citrus canker mean? Some patches, brown colors patches, will be present in the fruit of the citrus and also leaf. So automatically it will reduce the economic value of the citrus plant. and citrus. And then next, angular leaf spot in cotton, it will be caused by Xanthomonas malvacearum. Xanthomonas malvacearum. So that is a angular leaf spot. So it look like it's an angle. The leaf spot, that is the brown color spot will be appear. So that is in cotton, it will be caused by Xanthomonas malvacearum. Next, ring rot in potato, it will caused by Clavibacter mechanogenes. Clavibacter mechanogenes and subspecies, that is Spondonicus. So that is a subspecies. So this is called the ring rot. So inside it looks like a ring rot. So another plant is that is a scab in potato. It will cause by Streptomyces scapicus. So the outer surface it will be drier. It's not smooth. Actually, the potato outer surface is very smooth now, but due to this infection, it's not very smooth. It will look like a rough nature. So plant disease is over. Now we are going to the animal disease. Anthrax in sheep. Bacillus anthracis. As result, the bleeding nose will be happen. And finally it leads to death of the particular animal. And then next disease, brucellosis in cattle. So that is the Brucella abortus. So here some swelling will be occur in the leg region of the particular cattle. Some swelling. Okay. So that is the brucellosis. It caused by the Brucella abortus in cattle. That means the abnormal swelling will be happen in the cattle. The another disease, the Bovinia tuberculosis. That means some patches will be occur in the cattle, especially for cattle. It will caused by Mycobacterium bovis. That is a bovine tuberculosis. Some patches will be swelling will be occur in the body of the cattle. And the next disease, the black leg in cattle, Clostridium savovi. That is the inflammation in the leg region. That is inflammation in the leg region. So this is another cattle disease. That is a black leg. And human diseases. The animal disease over. Now we are going to say human diseases. So name of the disease, that is a cholera. It is caused by Vibrio cholerae. So these are the additional information. This picture will be give the additional information. How the cholera will be transmitted. So what is happened? It's a chronic diarrhea will be happen. Chronic diarrhea will be happen. And how can we prevent this cholera? We must follow the 5 steps. So these are the additional information. So in your exam point of view, just know that. So what is the caustic agent for the cholera? Vibrio cholerae. So what is the disease? And the Vibrio cholerae is caused. The disease is called cholera. So that is enough for your exam point of view. Now another human disease, typhoid. It will caused by Salmonella typhi. So here I give the additional information in the pictures. So it will be give the what is the symptoms of typhoid, and so here also it will be mentioned, and here it will be where the pain will be happen. So these are the additional information. But you just know that. So what is the caustic agent for typhoid? Salmonella typhi is enough. And next disease, tuberculosis. The tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. That is inflammation. It's a respiratory disorder. Inflammation in the lungs. It will be transmitted from one person to another person. So this is also the additional information. The another disease, leprosy. Mycobacterium leprae. It will be caused by Mycobacterium leprae. That is this formation of the fingers. It will affect the central nervous system as result this forming the finger structure. Okay. So this is leprosy. And then another pneumonia. It will caused by the Diplococcus pneumoniae. So pneumonia also is one of the respiratory disorder. That means inside the air sac, some fluid will be deposited. Actually, it's empty. Air sac will be, or it's only filled with the gas. Instead of gas, the fluid will be depositamine, that is causes the pneumonia. So it's additional one, that is fluid liquid or liquid filled air sac is a normal healthy air sac. So next disease, the plague. It will caused by the Yersinia pestis. Yersinia pestis. Actually, it will be transmitted through the rodent to flea to human. Okay, so it also causes the various problem in the human and it leads to the death, lethal effect also. Okay, it's additional information. Just to know that what is the name of the disease and what is the caustic agent. Plague, it will be caused by Yersinia pestis to the human. Next, diphtheria. It will be caused by Cronibacterium diphtheriae. Actually, the inflammation will be happen in the throat region and in our lips region. So that is diphtheria. It will be caused by Cronibacterium diphtheriae. The next disease, tetanus. It will be caused by the Clostridium tetani. Okay, actually, it will be caused a severe problem in the human. Okay, so these are the symptoms. What are the symptoms will be happen in the tetanus, and this inflammation will be happen in our hand and also in our body like that. Next, the food poisoning. It is also caused by the Clostridium botulinum. The food poisoning, it will be create a various symptoms. So these are the symptoms will be happen by this bacterium accessory give the food poisoning. So we want to take care and the properly boil the cook. It will be leads to prevent the food poisoning. And finally, syphilis. And I told you, syphilis. We have discussed about the syphilis in the previous antibiotic part. Now it is a syphilis. It will be caused by the Treponema pallidum. Treponema pallidum. So it will cause syphilis. So syphilis actually is a STD, sexually transmitted disease. So both in male and female some inflammation will be happen. Okay. So that is a syphilis. Sexually transmitted disease. It will be transmitted from one person to another person through the sexual contact. Thank you, student.